Okay, you're on.
Hi, my name is Glenda Nay, and I'm actually now living in Madison, Wisconsin, where I work with the University of Wisconsin's Foundation. My first experience with Yari Yari was at the first conference, and I was one of the principal organizers. It was an unbelievable experience because it gave me the opportunity to actually work with an amazing woman in Jane Cortez. We amassed an unbelievable group of people, volunteers, that helped to create something that I'm so proud and pleased to see is continuing. I have to say that Yari Yari, it sounds a little trite to say this, but Yari Yari actually changed my life. To this day, I still show the video to anyone that comes and spends any time in my home. My husband is always totally embarrassed because I've said to them, have you heard about Yari Yari? It was an opportunity to bring so many writers to NYU. We actually changed that campus over the span of 1 week, and it was a life-changing opportunity. To this day, I still have my signed posters in my home, proudly on display, and I still have so many memories, and I'm looking forward to going to Ghana to even have more. So thanks for asking me.
That's fantastic.
And I'm Christopher Winks. I teach comparative literature at Queens College, CUNY, and at the time the first Yari Yari conference happened, I was working on Black Renaissance, Renaissance Noir. When it had first started up, I was brought in as managing editor, and that's where I met Glenda, who was working in the program at the time. And I had met Jane Cortez a couple of times because I had written about her work and admired it for quite a while, so I felt to a certain extent that I had known her just a little bit, but it really turned out to be just a little bit because my admiration and respect for her, already great, became even greater, and also we've developed a friendship, and we meet every now and then while she's here, because she and Mel have like about 2 other places to go in the world, Dakar and their upstate New York place, as well as here. But Yari Yari, for me, I mean, being part of it, I just felt, the chance to meet all these amazing women creators that were names on on the cover of a book for me, and to see them and talk to them and learn from them was something that I have to say as well also changed my life. And I remember that week very well because in a way the NYU campus became a more welcoming and intimate place, and you would walk out in between panels, and you'd run into all these people, and people would greet each other, and that's not often the case in a higher educational institution like NYU. And I went to the second conference as well, and that was remarkable also, but I have to say that it's being located in what was then the new high-rise Kimmel place took a little bit of the intimacy away, because that is a more depersonalized space. Nonetheless, it was a triumph, and we were able to, I was able to see quite a lot, but there was nothing quite to compare with the first. My actual role, besides, just being there and learning from it, was occasionally I did interpretive work, and I still remember working with Were Leaking when I first saw her, I said, oh, they need an interpreter? I want to be next to her. It's like, she's so spectacular, And little did I know that interpreting didn't just mean speaking, more or less what she was saying into a mic while she was saying it, but also she wanted to know what everybody else was saying. So I'm sitting there whispering away and thinking, God, I hope nobody thinks I'm terribly rude, but that was kind of like our own little private world, and I will always remember that. But I also, of course, now that Glenda's here, I have to say that I remember so fondly all the days, all the frustrations, all the triumphs, all the life changes, all the everything that we went through in that first stage of Africana studies, which to my mind was still the unparalleled one. And I'm sure in Ghana it's going to be wonderful too. Just the mere fact that they're having it in Africa, the Organization of Women Writers of Africa, is, I'm sure that is automatically a guarantee of another transcendent event. I'm just totally impressed with Jane that she keeps doing it. I remember the first time it was like everybody said, so when are you going to do the other one? And she would kind of like, oh, I can't imagine that. And then, well, she did it again, and now she's doing it a third time. She's tireless.
Well, what I find that's so amazing is to see that so many, even it's been 10 years, almost 10 years since I've left New York, and to come back and feel as if you're coming home again.
Yes.
And to see, I don't get emotional, but all of these really incredible women and men in this room, still so interested in this project and in this organization. And it's so exciting. I'm in Wisconsin, and I get the flyer saying that this is happening.
Right.
And I found a way to plan a business trip so that I could be here tonight, because I wanted to let Jane know that she can count on me. My job is to help raise money at this point, and I know how to do it. So anything that I can do to help to make this conference a success, in terms of making a personal gift myself, but also making sure that I can help find opportunities to bring people together again, to have that life-changing experience, I'll make sure of doing. And I think it's a personal sacrifice for all of us, because this doesn't happen every day, and it doesn't happen with this group of remarkable women. So I think it's important to see it continue.
And I
You're
have to
a parent.
also say that
sorry.
I have to also say that women with whom I was doing graduate studies together, like Donette and Rosa, stepped up to
see them
being
now
the
back, all of you
and professors. I just think
it's amazing.
So you're a parent.
Yes.
What do you think Yari Yari will mean to the next generation in the 21st century? Kids who are used to social media, the digital age. What does it mean to actually have a room full of Black women writers?
Well, I think it's a little bit of the grounding that I think that so many of them still need. And to me, one of my fondest memories, of my son is introducing him to Black literature, and the importance of, turning off the TV, putting down, the controller, and actually reading a book. And, there are times when I still try and slip things, into him, because I think it's important that he continues that journey. There's nothing like the written word. And, just a quick memory about Yari Yari. It was my first exposure to spoken word. And I remember, just the overall excitement of the campus when we had young spoken word artists. And I was back in my office trying to get some things ready for the following day. And I remember Lanika, running over and saying, oh my God, we can't even close the doors. There's so many people and they're still coming. And to see that take off is something that's so important in terms of overall literature. But I think, the contribution of the writers and the contribution of these women will be inspiring, to young people now and in the future, because it's not going to, things may change, but things will stay the same. And I think even having an opportunity to bring high school students to Yari Yari in Ghana will be an incredible opportunity. And I'm not sure how we can go about this, but maybe it's an opportunity to do some brainstorming with some educators, and maybe, from each of the high schools in New York City, or even perhaps around the country, try and find a way to provide funding to bring them there, because that's another way of, we're having this life-changing opportunity. Why not have them, get that inspiration as well from being, in Africa and amongst these writers. So, again, we have a year to do a lot of planning and to make things happen, and I'm looking forward to working on this. So.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.